Be going on about Irish sea moss recently. I bought first batch of that from a Rastafari market for £20, and I just ate it. You soak it overnight and it looks like this. And I said I like it. I like it more because people aren't really visual when it comes to eating and connecting with food. It's like, couldn't this be used as like a healing thing? Because you're like, it looks like your neuro, it looks like your mind network, it looks like neuroplasty. And if you eat in conjunction with like focusing on meditative things, like, okay, I've got something, I'm fixing it, along with breathing in prana, pana, susana, hari, 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 ha, hari, ha, hari. And if you connect with the source, all that is, the thing that, makes your cells divide in the womb, the miracle that life is itself, right? Hari, ha, hari, hari. Prana, which means good energy. Apana, destructive energy. Saswana, which means your neurological network inside, sort of thing, your energy network, your own. Saswana, Hari, 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 Hari. Hari Krishnas, all about balance and restoration. Jaya Jaya, Sadoshana, and it's like connecting with that something bigger, and in conjunction with it going Prana, Pana. Just saying, like when it comes to healing, mindfulness, and the new people that coming out like Joe Dispenza, and they talk about thinking about this, thinking about connecting with the cosmos, and they're all sort of like this way inclined, and it's modern. It's a modern version of ancient understandings, really. I think it's like, what are you trying to connect to, bruv? Are you trying to connect to the energy? What are you visualizing? The prana, the pana, the things that are done in Tai Chi. They say feel the prana and push it around your body. So it's like, people they're not conscious of this kind of thing. And it's like, really, in theory, I do believe that a lot of it is mind over matter, and you can pretty much eat and enjoy yourself in life and not be some like super disciplined person. That would be really jarring. What's the point of enjoying yourself on earth? Eat all the junk, eat all the things, but be mindful. Be maybe mindful of what you're doing, and just be like. And I think the more mindful you are of things, and more appreciative you are of just like literally creation, you go, I don't want to eat that like greasy, crappy thingy thing. I know that instinctively that's not good for me anyway. And you get a bit more like that when you're more connected to the source, so to speak. There's my little spiritual guru rant. I like eating like that personally. I was trying to get my dad and mum to eat it like this. I was like, it's good. Your brain, because my mum got she has neuralgia, sort of like this ongoing pain behind her eye that she got from eye shingles, undiagnosed for like 10 days. That's like having a herpes virus behind your eye, and it left her literally scarred. And it's like negligence, really, and stuff, because she got it from a fat splash in a frying pan, and there was nothing there, and she was like, it hurts. Like, there's nothing there, I can't see nothing. And then the next day there was a few little blisters, and I was like, oh yeah, I can see there's blisters there now. And then the next day she woke up and it was like Freddy Krueger. It was like, it just like it was an auto. I said, that's fucked. That's the normal autoimmune response. Get to A&E, and they just gave her something to calm down and whatever, but they didn't spot the shingles. I digress, but I was saying, if there's such a thing as neuroplasticity, and your brain can literally make new networks, and that's the importance of the law of attraction, where you're just like trying to get positive, and nothing but positive. It's such a huge discipline. And in theory, depression is all caused by thoughts and reactions to thoughts and bad experiences. So you overthink those, so you always go down that path. And your brain connects connections with the bad, with the good, the good, in conjunction with eating this. Is just like, I am reprogramming. I started getting more mindful when Christmas on South Bank I bought walnuts in honey, and I thought, well, they look like little brains, don't they? So when I go to sleep listening and reprogramming my neuro with theta waves, thinking this, I'm going to eat this of a night time, and then I'm going to eat one in the morning. I've gone into my second mind, where I'm removing all the negatives and stuff and trying to be a different person. So you can have little practices, and they are as good as prayer, because it's all prayer. When you're mindful and you're trying to improve your life, you're a mindful, thoughtful person. You're probably generally not going to be an aggravative, horrible, negative person that's causing other people stress, if you're the sort of person that practices that kind of thing. But, the proof is in the pudding. I hope to see my infinite success, my limitless success as an abundance anytime now, because it really irks me when I get an invite to universal credit. I'm a carer. My dad is needing care. My mum is really care, and they're really elderly. And so it's like I haven't heard from them for years. After all the systematic abuse and shit, I thought they were just being nice. But then it's like, oh, you were called to an appointment. It's like, I think it's really presumptuous to actually name money things by gov after universe, which is part of a god body and everybody owns. I think you're a bit presumptuous and it's a little bit aloof, isn't it? Calling something universal credit. What do you know about it, mate? What do they... Yeah, you get this impression that when they call it things like universal credit and stuff, you know it's coming from a different place. I personally think, going back to my conspiracy theory, is African stuff, where there's no economy when they can use all the dodgy money as well as crooked and good money. I think it comes from there, personally. I think that links to sub-industrial cultures and Indus tribes has long gone. Collaborations between all the EU countries when they inhabited Africa before World War II. I think since then it's all been a bit like covert and weird, and we wouldn't even know what was what and if our arse was our elbow as English people or other EU countries. I don't think we actually have a freaking Scooby-Dooby-Doo who's pulling strings and who's got money and stuff. What with that being the most monumentally, extremely, ridiculously wealthy planet on in the world, with its jewels and gems and everything else that they sort of knock on our door looking for charity for, and you go, yeah, right, that's just a presentation. People say it's a simulation. Simulations, when you look at things like the big C word and stuff, and when I look in, like, the more you learn from other people and you hear about people that cured people from this and this and this with tinctures, it's like Lorenzo's oil, tinctures, mind over matter, hypnosis, programming, you've become so cut off from your healthy good body, your subconscious mind is God, God is subconscious mind, the thing that grows you in the womb, the thing that you're not in touch with, that is recording 24/7, that we don't identify it with as an ego. When we sleep and reprogram that, they're claiming big miraculous things for people, and it's like, well, people that are under the NHS aren't they don't get that therapeutic practice, do they? They don't get somebody that's like a medicine man over their bed going, hey, yeah, or any of these other things. And also there's this other one that goes, sha na na na, sho na na na, she na na na. Each syllable is connected to shame, guilt, negatives, which is obviously to cast it out, and then they say it's like a reboot to your body. It's sound healing, and it's like there's so many different ways of, like, people don't in medicine villages, they would do that, wouldn't they? Back in the day, probably in Navajo, India, and India to India, they would do that. Indians to India would do that. No. And they're doing it for that reason, because you're reprogramming, trying to cleanse your negative thought patterns and your karmatic cycles that have brought on the illness in the first place, mind over matter. So, like, the NHS doesn't do this stuff, does it, really? So what we're saying is, when we're trying to get a new thing off the ground called Celestial Pool, is we're employing all the people that really respect life on a different level, because you have become institutionalised and formalised, and numbers aren't really a big deal to people because it's just cutting the population. Because we know there's a lot of desensitive people out there that have been under regimes, just drink culture, just a bit of brutal, butcherous. And then we see the other tribe and we go, oh, well, that's what we're trying to bring into these cultures and cities. And we're trying to provide that, and we're documenting that, and we're doing it, and we're making money as it goes along, as it's media. And that's what I was trying to bring through. As somebody that's very studious and looks at everybody else and goes, yeah, that's what my life's been missing. I know what that is. That's humanity there. That's a lack of humanity when there's a nurse acting like a bouncer and she's not letting people in a room, and you've got loved ones that really want to see you, and you're causing all round distress and saying, I'm a nurse, and it's like Toy Town. So it's like, that's what we're trying to break down, those barriers and walls that are in every culture all over the world, that divide of not far right, it's not political, it's more desensitised, and just they've become industrial tools and quite roboticised in their lack of humanity, because they put their wage above humanity. So what we're doing is we're injecting it back, and we're putting it on a presentation in a big screen. I'm trying to make, I said, can we make a film that's the first film to ever have a brand come out alongside it, like Star Wars but bigger? So watch your space. I hope it happens one day, because I know that the people need it hugely, I know the people need this network of support, care, movers and shakers. No Spencer spared Air Force One on the street.